I quite like the versatility of handstands as sometimes warm-ups and other times finishers. I was going for a push press as my explosive movement of the day, and I thought that probably a handstand was going to warm up the shoulder girdle quite well in preparation for that exercise. So I did a couple of these, tried to stay up as long as I could, and I'm noticing that as I'm opening up my shoulders, my legs actually kind of fall into a better vertical, and so the hold improves as time goes by. Quite happy with this one. So I went for a small tuck as well and for a little straddle before finishing it off. At this point, I was nice and warm, and I went straight into my push presses. I was doing 3 sets of these, and I went up to 50 kilos. I did 3 sets with 50 kilos, and I was feeling quite challenged by the weight, mostly in terms of stabilizing the bar on top of my head without moving side to side or backwards. So there is a lot of stabilizing component to this lift, and I quite like that. And supersetting this with the volume for the day, which was in the forms of just body weight pull-ups. Going straight into that, the first set, which was this one here, was a bit easy to go straight into, but the subsequent sets were actually a bit harder, to the point that I had to wait maybe 30 seconds to a minute. I don't think there's anything wrong. It's a movement that is kind of taxing the push press, at least to me right now, and so it's good to take some time in order to get some good repetitions afterwards. The next exercise, and actually the strength work for the day, was the deadlift. I was going for triples, and I chose 120 kilos because it's about 75% of my last recorded 1 rep max of 160 kilos. I'm still not 100% back into this because I'm adding a lot of new stuff, throwing a lot of new things into the mix, and I want to be able to slowly ease into a workable training volume. But the deadlifts felt good. They moved well as far as I can see, and I was supersetting these with the isolation movement of the day, which was a tricep extension. I was using the easy bar, so I believe that this is 17.5 kilos, and I was going for a higher repetitions, so about 15. I did 15 a couple of times, and then I did a bit less than that. And for today's accessory work, I was going for the walking lunges. These I really like, and I think are gonna stay for the foreseeable future. Focusing on getting as much ankle, knee, and hip flexion as possible while going for the longest possible stride, and so putting a good stretch on the opposite hip flexor and the glutes. So what I'm feeling is a big stretch in the adductor more than in the hip flexor, and definitely a little bit in my glutes, and a big pump in my quads around the last repetitions. And the superset on this was core stuff. I was doing just static holds, which I did in the past and I really like. It's something that really challenges my core stability. This weight wasn't exactly heavy, but I'll probably go heavier already in the next one in a couple of days. But yeah, it pulls me to the side, and I'm actually doing a good effort in trying to stay as straight as possible. And it works grip strength too. Really like this stuff. Also, I could have gone for something heavier. Next time. Ciao.